What is going on, everybody? In today's video, as you can see from the title, we are talking about why the 76ers just really do not need James Harden. Now, of course, we do know that James Harden is currently away from the team pending a trade, most likely to the Los Angeles Clippers. And honestly, we really don't know what's going to be happening with that because, for one, the Los Angeles Clippers have actually reportedly came out and said they don't really want to push for a James Harden trade. So we don't know where James Harden is going to be moved. But in these three first games of the regular season, Tyrese Maxey has made the 76ers look so good to the point that they definitely do not need James Harden on this team. And for Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, that duo is looking way better, in my opinion, so far in these three games than anything that we've seen from the James Harden duo. And the reason I will say that is just the potential of Tyrese Maxey. I think if you compare the two, James Harden and Tyrese Maxey just has a way higher ceiling than I think anything that James Harden is going to put out for the rest of James Harden's career. Harden is at that point. He's not in his prime anymore where he's able to move how he used to. And time and time again, he has showed that. You know, at the beginning of every single season, we kind of say maybe James Harden is going to go back to his old self. But he's just been very inconsistent. And for Tyrese Maxey averaging 30 points per game in these three games and being the Eastern Conference player of the week, I think it really goes to show that what the 76ers really need to do is keep on improving this duo with Tyrese Maxey, because I think as Maxey being that young, talented, very, very fast player, that duo, Joel Embiid and Maxey, that can be very, very good for a long time. And I think in Joel Embiid's head, with Maxey playing this good, it's definitely going to steer him away from potentially leaving the Philadelphia 76ers. If Harden comes back and kind of ruins this thing, I think that will more than likely make Joel Embiid want to leave the Philadelphia 76ers. For me, I think Harden is just one of those players that you just can't really have as a star player. You can't really have as a second option, at least. I think if he does come back, it can't be the same duo that we witnessed, especially in the playoffs. Now, like I said, he obviously had some very interesting moments last season with the Philadelphia 76ers where he looked really good. But for me watching Tyrese Maxey, I think Maxey has the chance to be the best point guard in the entire Eastern Conference. Very, very fast player. He can shoot the three at a very high rate. Actually, last year was by far one of the best three-point shooters in the entire NBA. I think his skill, getting to the basket, scoring, having these crazy layups, his dribbling moves, overall, that whole thing is better than James Harden. So that's really why I think that the 76ers need to hold on to Tyrese Maxey. I think he is the better player over James Harden. And for them to have a player like Kelly Oubre, who's come into the picture right now, who is also doing good, looking like a really solid role player. You got Tobias Harris that's playing pretty well. I think really what they should do is trade James Harden and look to get maybe potentially another role player that can really help out this squad, because we've seen it time and time again. That Harden and Embiid duo is good, but for me, really looking on into the future and even in the playoffs, I think Maxey is that type of player that has the better mentality than James Harden and is going to help you actually win games. A very efficient player from the field, from the three-point line, that is going to be better than James Harden. Now, moving on to the James Harden potential trade and where we see him going. He came back onto the bench, I think, last game, and that kind of shows that maybe the 76ers are kind of going to play him for a few games, but I think ultimately he gets traded before the trade deadline and goes to a team that can benefit him. The Clippers are probably off the table as of now because it's looking like the Clippers, they're clicking with Kawhi Leonard on the team again, Paul George. No really reason to trade a player like Terrence Mann. So I think that my guy James Harden probably will go to another team, maybe potentially like the Knicks. The 76ers get a player that they want. And yeah, I really do think that this whole James Harden situation is really stupid. The kind of reminds me of the Ben Simmons situation. For me, you just don't want a player like that. I'm sorry, you don't want a player like James Harden. I have really high respect for James Harden. He's actually, a very good player. Behind the scenes, maybe he's a very good person as well. But me personally, you can see the trends with, Ben Simmons, James Harden, and other players like that in the entire league where it's never going to end up well. for the team, and they're never really going to win anything if James Harden remains on the team. It's just that type of mentality that he has, and that's what it is at the end of the day. For me, Tyrese Maxey does not have that, kind of mentality. And yeah, that's kind of how I feel about things. Tyrese Maxey is pretty much solidifying himself as the all-star in these 3 games, and he has really the chance to be very, very good. In my opinion, you compare a player like Tyrese Maxey and De'Aaron Fox, I personally think, me being unbiased, Maxey probably has the better upside. Just based on some of the moves that I see Maxey doing is actually just insane, like Jordan-esque. And yeah, Maxey, 30 points per game. Me personally, I think he's going to average for the entire season the upwards of like 25 points per game or something like that. But yeah, that's what I think about this whole situation. Title of the video, this is why the 76ers do not need James Harden moving forward. And if they actually don't have him, they will 100% benefit and maybe even win their first NBA championship. With that being said, though, that's going to be the end of this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, subscribe for a cookie, and I will be giving you that. It's your boy Josh the Arch, and I'm out.